My goodness, guys. My goodness.
Gelbs, you can't make this up, man. You can't. Like, how do you explain Aaron Rodgers playing 4 games? And
4 snaps.
4 snaps.
We would have loved 4 games.
I would have loved 4 games. Playing 4 snaps and potentially, we don't know the diagnosis yet. We just
all prayers
up right now.
I need you to.
I mean, emotional roller coaster is an understatement.
Suck the wind out of the stadium immediately, first quarter, and here we go. And listen, I'm telling you, Brees the Beast, Quincy Williams, Jermaine Johnson. I mean, these guys stepped up, and they kept the Jets in it, right? And Brees Hall, I mean, he's averaging 27 yards a carry. I mean, you look, you can tell he doesn't quite trust the knee, but you had to alter the game plan. Nathaniel Hackett had to figure out what is Zach Wilson comfortable with. And we still don't know what he's comfortable with, but this team showed a lot of grit a lot. Listen, 85 Bears, I'm not going to go this far, but this defense is amazing. And this defense kept them in. And sometimes when it's, like Rex used to say, when it's hard on us, when it's hard on everybody else, it's just right for us.
What was impressive to your point was, and we've all watched the Jets for a long time, we've been doing this for a while, they would have found a way to lose this game.
Always.
Especially after losing Aaron Rodgers. It might have been a blowout, but what was most impressive is Brees Hall coming off that ACL, being the ball toter, being the guy to say, hey, man, put it on my back. We're going to find a way. And this defense, man, this defense, DJ Reed took a lot of heat for saying we're going to be the 85 Bears, like Bart mentioned. Well, one thing the 85 Bears did, they closed out games. And they showed up, and they made key plays and key moments, and that's what this defense did. So credit the Jets defense, man. Monday night, there's so much to unpack, man. I'm almost threw up before we started the show. So it's insane. I can't even breathe.
Just gutsy, right? You look at how everybody answered the call. Quinnen Williams took over this game in the second half. DJ Reed didn't have the best drive of his career when the Bills went down the field to tie it at the end, and then he answered the call at the last play in overtime before the punt, where he got them off the field. So you just look at everybody that answered the bell. Yep. Bart said Brees really legging it out, right? He's trying to get trust back in that knee, but he kept taking the rock, kept making big plays. Garrett Wilson, a superstar on this team.
What a catch.
I mean, it should have been intercepted, and instead it turns into 6 points. Greg the Leg making his kicks. It just goes on and on. Everybody, I mean, you got to imagine what they felt like when they saw Aaron Rodgers go down. But
imagine what New York felt like.
I know. I was in that room. I mean, my brain is going 1,000 miles an hour right now, so correct me if I'm wrong, but all the names that we've just thrown out there, we haven't even said Jordan Whitehead, who had 3 interceptions.
Right.
I mean, that's how many people contributed to the game. And, quite frankly, guys, I know we started in pregame talking about the expectations, the Super Bowl expectations, and so much of that was about Aaron Rodgers. Yeah. But there was no way that this team was going to go into this season with those expectations based on one player alone. And I think what this group showed today is that they were worthy of those expectations. We don't know what's going to happen with Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not going to try and sugarcoat it. If they've lost Aaron Rodgers for the season or for an extended period of time,
it's bleak.
It's really tough to see them hitting that mark. But that is a Super Bowl defense, and there are some players on the offensive side that are Super Bowl caliber players.
And listen, I'll let Joe Douglas do what Joe Douglas do. And we'll find out the news about Aaron Rodgers tomorrow, and hopefully we get encouraging news. But, I trust that Joe Douglas, you think about the money that Aaron Rodgers gave back. You think about Corey Davis. They have room in the salary cap to be able to make a trade, and Joe Douglas is good at that, right? And Zach Wilson has continued to say, hey, this is my time, this is my moment. And Nathaniel Hackett has to prove that he can develop a young quarterback. I know that's not what he came to here to do, and that's not what it is. But, even you think about next week, they got to figure some things out, and they got to bring some guys in and see if they can have some signings, whether it's a Colt McCoy, whether it's a trade for Tyrod Taylor, or whatever it is. It looks like Aaron Rodgers, I can't see him on a short week being available, no matter if it's the best news, being available for next week against that type of pass rush. I thought Mekhi Becton, showed up, and, it wasn't perfect. This offensive line, it wasn't perfect. But I tell you what, they showed a lot of grit, and when it came down to it, and they said, hey, we just got to run the ball. Zach, we can't really throw the ball, and Zach is struggling a little bit, and we don't have the timing together. They said, we're just going to run the ball. They put in 3 tight ends, and they say, you know what? They know we running it, and we know we running it. Let's see if they can stop it. and the defense did a tremendous job in getting turnovers. We talked about this defense trying to get turnovers. Well, they got 4 today. And I love the fact that smug look on Diggs' face when it's early on and everything's going their way and the momentum's their way. I'm him and all this stuff in the camera talking all this stuff. I would love to see what his face looks like now.
Yep. You know, what's interesting, Bart can attest to this. When I got into the league, man, one of the best isms or wisdoms I've ever received was from Jerome Bettis, man. And he said, listen, the guy behind you is the most important guy because it's always going to be the next man up. Zach Wilson got dressed today not thinking he was going to be the next man up.
He had sunflowers.
Right. He thought he was about to see the Aaron Rodgers show, and he answered the bell. It wasn't pretty, but he was gritty. He took some shots, and he just stayed the course. And I think that's a testament to Aaron Rodgers coming in that building and say, hey, young man, this isn't going to be a tutorial. This is you going to stand beside me, and you're going to learn how to play quarterback in the NFL. And he was able to finish this game. I'm not saying he was great. What I am saying, he was competent enough to win the Jets football game today.
I think the number for me, too, Bart, you hinted at this. LaMarcus Joyner led this team last year in interceptions. He had 3. Jordan Whitehead tonight had 3. It's a mentality. I mean, Bart knows it from playing linebacker for how long. Taking away the football is a mentality of the defense and winning that field position battle. And they did that against one of the best quarterbacks in the league. Yeah, he's reckless at times, but that's his weakness. And the Jets, he obviously fed into that. And the Jets took away the football, and that was the difference in the game.